Hello, it's Steve with CarSmart in Niagara Falls, Ontario, and we have a 2021 Mazda for you today. This is the CX30 GS all-wheel drive with the luxury package. Again, this is a two-owner Ontario car, free of any accidents, got a spotless Carfax, lots of good history. It came out of the KW, Kitchener-Waterloo area. Forbes Mazda in Waterloo, I think, was the original selling dealer. Carfax shows lots of history both there as well as at Keyswetter Mazda, also in Kitchener. It's a neighboring city, and then a couple of independent garages in and around that KW area, Cambridge area as well. So anyway, two owners since new, well serviced, and dynamite color combination. This is called Soul Red Metallic, and this just pops. This is like a $450 option, but this is a beautiful mica metallic. Again, you can see it, the sunlight's just coming out now, and you can see how that sort of just pops. It's one of these colors of these mica metallics that actually kind of change based on the angle and the light that you're looking at, and it's just a refraction of the metallic flake they're using in it. But it's a tinted clear coat, and again, multi-stage paint. So again, it's expensive, a little more expensive, say $500 or $450 more than the regular paint, but definitely worth it. I love it. Now, lots of little extras. Of course, we're getting into LED headlights. So these are, again, light-emitting diodes, high-intensity discharge, extremely bright. Both your low beam and high beam are LED, and the high beams, slightly reduced power, also power the daytime running lights. Then you have these little LED marker lights down below. You've also got LED sort of signal and sort of hazard light strips in the mirrors, so when you're signaling, and it even has like a little indicator there so that the driver can see when it's on. It's sort of a reminder if you've left your signal lights on for lane changing, etc. You'll see nice big sort of heavy duty sort of plastic sort of protection over the wheel arches that extends down into the doors. You can see how that sort of wraps around and protects the doors. But then if you sort of crawl all the way underneath, you'll see this again protects the lower rocker panels, and that's a very vulnerable area where cars can get sort of sandblasted from the wheels and tires, and salt and sand and little stones that chip it, and obviously it's vulnerable to, and once the paint is degraded or chipped, again, rusting can start. So all these little measures really help, and Mazda's really stepped up their game, not only in interior finishes but in exterior, and really moving it more into a luxury type vehicle. Even though this is sort of a compact, the CX30 sort of fits under the CX50, a CX5 for size. It's a nice mid-size 5-passenger, but still nice and compact. Now this has a 2.5 liter engine, non-turbo, because there was a turbo option. I always like the non-turbos. I find long-term reliability typically is a little better, but a lot of that depends on how you drive them and oil changes. Not to say that turbos are bad, but they can be expensive as heck when they do go. And you'll see, of course, the all-wheel drive modeling on it. SkyActiv G is sort of Mazda's new engine and transmission technology. Again, we're using, again, a normally aspirated 4-cylinder, double overhead cam, variable valve timing, which is nothing really unique. But they really upped their game in their direct injection and sequential injection to reduce carbon buildup on the valves, yet still producing better horsepower. These are all designed with anti-knock sensors, so regardless of the fuel you use, like these are really spec'd in this sort of layout with this 2.5 engine for just regular gas. You could use premium gas for slightly more power, but the price differential for most people now, regular gas is certainly the way to go, and there's no damage going to be done running on that. You can see up top you've got a nice big oversized power moonroof that both vents, so it tilts up as it is, and then of course retracts and slides within the headliner to open right up. And these are little access points for roof rack mounting. You'll see here and here. You've got sort of an integrated spoiler in the back, which gives it a nice look, but also functional because it sort of sets up a swirl or an eddy in the back that reduces moisture coming off the road in heavy rain or wet roads. Of course, you do have a wiper washer to augment that. You've got an integrated LED brake lamp up top, as well as, of course, LED brake lamps down below. And the whole idea behind LED is, A, they're faster reacting, but they're much brighter than a regular sort of incandescent bulb. So it gives, more immediate warning to the person behind you that you know, you might, especially if you're in an emergency braking situation. So that all adds to safety. We've got a backup camera that's tucked away underside right here. Exhaust system, you'll see sort of nice dual tips, which you don't normally find in this class. But it's a single exhaust running front to back, and it splits off the rear resonator into dual tips with those nice shiny chrome. So it gives it a nice look to it. Stainless steel exhaust components front to back, so they're all extended life. Now, tires on this are weak. I'm just shopping for tires right now. The rear tires actually still have okay life left in them. They're good quality Bridgestone Transits, but the fronts are pretty much done. So I'm either going to put 4 brand new tires, or if I can find a matched set of decent Bridgestones to go on the front, we might go that route as well. So suffice it to say, it'll come with good tires. Up top here we do have a couple of things going on in the front glass. To the left there, that's what they call a rain sensor, and it's a UV sensor that reads, you know, obviously rain, snow, any other precipitation hitting it, and it will automatically speed up, slow down your intermittent wiper cycles based on that intensity, so you're not constantly adjusting it. And then the other item there is a camera for multiple things. It's lane tracking, so it reads what's going on ahead of you on the road, and if you start wandering in the lane, you can have active steering assist that'll sort of center you in the lane. And it'll also warn you if you're departing the lane, again with that departure assist. So again, people nodding off at the wheel, falling asleep at the wheel, and driving off-road on long trips, you know, that kind of life-saving technology could be very valuable. In behind where the Mazda sort of logo is up front, there's also a radar sensor. Now the radar sensor is reading also what's going on ahead of you. So in conjunction with that camera, we have adaptive or active cruise control, so it allows you to maintain your gap, you know, slowing down, speeding up on the highway. And this has what they call with stop start, which means it activates all the way down to a total stop, and then if traffic starts to move again, away it goes. So it's sort of a more advanced technology than a lot of other systems out there. Other features with that too is what they call active collision mitigation. If it feels that you're closing in on a car too quickly, you know, and maybe you're not seeing the brake lights fast enough or reacting quick enough, and it senses a potential collision, it will actively start applying brakes to help prevent a collision. So collision mitigation, very important. And it also will even recognize pedestrians, large animals, cyclists with that same sort of active support. Now, also additional safety features, blind spot assist. I don't know if you can see that little triangle there. When it's activated, you know, somebody's in your blind spot. It's all accommodated by a sensor that's sort of located right in that back corner of the bumper. There's one on each side. And that's what's reading what's going on, kind of where I'm standing, back in the blind spot. And of course, it illuminates on the mirror. Actually has an audible warning as well as just a visual, and then there's also what they call rear cross traffic assist. And we've all been in situations, especially in busy parking lots, where you're backing out and some fool is driving way too fast in a parking lot, and you know, leans on the horn, and there's almost an accident in the parking lot. And again, this will sense that motion as you're backing out, so it'll also give you that sort of, you know, collision mitigation, again, or warning to help prevent an accident. So some real neat technology surrounding the whole vehicle. As we go in, of course, we got keyless remote entry, and this has an upgraded sort of leather interior with heated seats, 10-way power adjustable driver's seat. You can see the actual adjustments here, with a power lumbar support being the very back one. A 6-way adjuster that actually tilts or lifts the seats and moves it forward and back, and all kinds of adjustability. I'm not sure how well this comes out in the, but it's almost like a two-tone sort of deep navy blue and sort of dark charcoal leather on the doors. So again, a nice contrast. Of course, your power windows, door locks, and mirrors. Safety lockout on the power windows. It also has child-proof safety locks in the rear as well. I'm gonna have to pause for one moment here. I have a customer just arrived. I'll be back momentarily to finish up. Okay, thanks. We're back. Now, other items. Of course, underneath here we have our hood release. Knee airbags for both driver and passenger. Of course, we've got driver's side airbags within the center wheel as well as up above, side impact airbags, and then curtain airbags that extend over both front and rear windows. Now, the side airbags and the frontal airbags on both sides are what they call a dual stage, meaning that, like it suggests, they'll deploy or go off at different levels based on the amount of impact energy. So they're really intelligent or smart airbags that read the amount of impact force and give you just the right amount of airbag support, but not too much. Other features here, you can turn off sort of the safety features like the blind spot assist and lane assist and everything with a single touch button. Some people find it too intrusive, and that's fair. It's up to the individual. You have to get used to it. So that's a single touch button. Hill climb assist, again, if you're getting into sort of off-road kind of driving, really bumpy, that sort of assists your traction control and all-wheel drive system. Driver memory seats, you see the 1, 2, and a set button. So that memorizes driver's seating position as well as mirror positions for 2 drivers. We have both a tilt and telescopic wheel from down below, a leather-wrapped wheel with heating. We have automatic high beam assist. With these really super bright LED headlights, they light up the road like nobody's business. But you do have to be careful, because when the high beams are on, they can almost really distract other drivers. And so this will automatically dim your lights if you're too slow or not paying attention, and so nice safety feature there as well. Headlights are also auto on off, so of course in the auto position they'll automatically turn on for at nighttime when it gets dark enough. And they also have what they call a I can't remember the verbiage, but when you shut the car off, they'll stay illuminated just to sort of give you that courtesy lighting while you're getting into the home. Headrests themselves are what they call active headrests, both front and rear, that help reduce whiplash and a rear collision. We've got a nice big center armrest console that slides so you can adjust it to your seating position. Flips open, lots and lots of space. There's a 12-volt power plug as well as an additional USB port there, as you'll see. Yeah, let's just have a quick seat here. And all your sort of multi-function controls here. So on that left spoke, you'll see your volume controls, your station controls, your source button, a mute button, voice operations, as well as phone controls, info. So everything is here for all your multimedia as well as your Bluetooth hands-free phone. The opposite side is all your advanced sort of adaptive cruise control system. So this way you can set that trailing distance behind the vehicle ahead, do your setting, on and off control. Very straightforward. Into the light here, if you look at the down here is your odometer, just 114,433 kilometers. A nice clean instrumentation, with tachometer, speedometer, and then gauges on the other side. The little red light is just a seatbelt warning light. Then you got, of course, fuel gauge, engine temperature gauge, ambient or outside temperature displayed here. And this is sort of a range computer for fuel. And this one over here is telling you your average fuel economy. I was looking at it earlier, and it's actually quite good. I mean, this 2.5 non-turbo engine develops 186 horsepower and 186 pound-feet of torque. Gets like 9.9 liters per 100 on the city cycle, 7.7 highway. For a car with that kind of power, that's excellent. It's a 48-liter tank, which is pretty standard for vehicles in this side. Usually they're in that 50 liters size capacity. Over here you'll see a stop-start button for your obviously starting the vehicle using a sort of an intelligent key. These has 2 keys with it as well, 1 and 2. You can see the little buttons on the side for entry and panic, and often people will use that for like a locator button. Can't remember where they parked their car. The other signal stock here, you'll see all your controls for wipers front and rear, along with it's got an intermittent rear wiper as well as a variable delay front wiper. So you can fine tune, even when you're in the auto mode, the cycling of your wiper pulses. Nice big infotainment screen, 8.8 inches, so basically 9 inches across, corner to corner. High definition, as you can see, beautiful color imagery. This also acts as a backup camera system. Now, you probably noticed this is not a standard screen. This is I have my phone plugged in. I have an iPhone personally, but whether you have an Android phone or an Apple phone, it has the smartphone integration, what they call Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, so you can get all your apps right off your phone. And we'll get into that a bit more in a moment here. Other items here, of course, are your climate control. This, again, with this upgraded package, is a dual zone, so you can set separate temperature zones for driver and passengers. You can set it to automatic. You can manually override and select your own controls. If you scale down here, you'll see your other buttons for front defrost, rear electric defrost. It has also what they call heated wiper park. So under the front wipers at the base of the windshield, when your rear defrost is on, it'll also defrost those front wipers. And then you've got your heated seats, 3-stage. This is the passenger one, driver's here. And then this is the heated seat, or heated steering wheel, excuse me, button for the driver's steering wheel. So this is where your phone would plug in with an additional USB port. Of course, this is also charging as well as for media input. So you could plug in a USB stick or other MP3 players for that. Now, the previous owner put a little cell phone mount here. So it's a magnetic mount, so it holds your cell phone if you wanted to have it displayed. It's just totally optional. And then, of course, you've got cup holders, your actual automatic transmission, park reverse neutral drive. It's a 6-speed overdrive with manual shifting feature. So when you drop it in drive, you can flip it over here, and then you have your sort of plus minus for downshifts or upshifts. When you do that, of course, your display, rather than just showing D, is going to tell you what gear position you're in. Now this is a 6-speed overdrive. It's not a CVT or continually variable transmission, which are becoming very popular out there, but I still prefer a manual geared transmission. It definitely gives you better road feel and feel of what's going on in the engine. It doesn't feel like an elastic band like a CVT does. You'll see here as well sort of what they call a drive select mode. So you can select from a normal mode, a sport mode, or off altogether. And then you've got volume controls, mute, of course similar to what you have on the steering wheel, but in a position where the passenger can also access it. Your favorites button, your music, your home screens, etc. So regardless of whether you're using smartphone integration or going just with the Mazda system, everything is done through this sort of multifunction sort of controller. It's almost like a mouse on a computer. So one thing I just want to quickly go through is your maps. And one thing I like about using smartphone maps is they're always updated, right? When you go to a factory navigation system, once the car is 3-4 years old, it's already out of date with new neighborhoods, road changes, etc. And so factory maps or smartphone maps, whether you use Google Maps, Apple Maps, Waze, I use all of the above sometimes depending on where I'm going. It's all through there. If I go back to the home button here, there we go. Okay, we can get sort of a combo screen here where I've got both navigation as well as sort of Bluetooth streaming. This way again you can access your various music apps. I use a couple of different ones. I've got Amazon Music playing there now. Again, you'll see album cover art, and this is through a technology called Grace Note, where album cover art for the selection will display up top. So again, very slick layout. I believe I showed this earlier, but you have a nice big backup camera with park assist guidelines as well. Auto dimming rear view mirror, also part of the upgrade package. You've got the visors with the extending shade extenders. Lamps are illuminated just by sliding the sliding door. Handy little clips for receipts and notes. Overhead individual sort of LED spotlights. Overhead lights, all your lights on and off, or do you want them sort of door switch so you get that sort of illuminated entry upon entry? Oh, sorry, that's off. That's the opposite as what I wanted. There we go. Automatically illuminate and then fade out. And then in the middle there is our sunroof control, which I'll do in one moment. Just want to show first the glasses storage. And also in here is embedded as a microphone. That's just picking up our voice when we're doing any voice operations, like voice operated dialing, or obviously talking on a hands-free call, any of those items. So similar mirror setup on the passenger side. Now we have that big sliding sunroof with a sliding sunshade. I've got it in event mode there now. That drops down, opens totally up. On the very sort of front leading edge, there's a little pop-up deflector that opens up, and that gives you, I said, less wind noise when you open the sunroof. above each door, the nice big assist handles. We've got height adjustable seat belts. And the seat belts also have what they call collision pre-tensioning. And how they work is when... My apologies there, I hit the off button inadvertently. So we're talking about pre-tensioning seat belts. So again, these tighten up using the same sort of airbag sensors. So when the car is in a collision or a serious enough accident that's going to deploy airbags, it will also deploy these seatbelt pretensioners. So they tighten up the belts, reducing any slack in the belts, and obviously the better that the belts can do their job in restraining the occupants, then the safer it is for all involved. So a very important part of the whole safety picture. Things like side impact safety beams, crumple zones front and rear, high strength steel roofs that are all reinforced. These will hold over 2.5 times the vehicle's weight in a rollover. So very, very strong set of safety cells surrounding the passenger compartment. This all leads to really top safety marks as well for crash tests, etc. We have child safety locks in the back. You know, all the doors have nice big sort of bins for storage, and even they'll hold sort of water bottles, tall drinks, etc. Sort of drop down center armrest with cup holders. This will accommodate car seats in all 3 positions across the back with these anchor points, and of course there's the tether straps over the back side. The back of the center console, you can see it has a rear heat and air conditioning with sort of a little thumb wheel to control airflow. And then under the seats themselves, there's lots of foot room, but there's also additional ducts under there that are redirecting heat and air conditioning to the back. You know, within the sort of the rear handles, you can see little hooks, you know, for hanging your jackets or dry cleaning, you know, with a hanger. So all those little conveniences that everybody likes. The seats themselves, there's a little button on the top here that releases the folding mechanism, and it's a nice flat fold, so you know there's not a big jump up where that is. And these are the tether straps I mentioned for car seat anchoring. There is a removable shelf panel in the back, so let's go have a look at that. Oh, I didn't pop the fuel door, but again, the fuel door release is, I thought it was down below here. I know it's here somewhere. Oh, I think I know what it is. Yeah, it's cycled. Yeah, exactly. My apologies. It's cycled with the power door lock. So when the power door locks are activated, there's a little plunger that locks this and prevents it from opening. So as long as the doors are unlocked, you can access that. Again, just regular gas, no premium required. So there's a soft touch sort of release button down here just beside where the camera is, and the license plate lights that open up that. Of course, nice big hydraulic struts. You can see how these clip on, and this shelf panel can be easily dropped to open up the space. We won't do that right now. LED illumination. You've got a nice set of stout anchor points, and that's at all 4 corners in the back here as well. So if you have sort of top heavy loads or things that you're carrying, you can ratchet strap them down or use bungee cords or ropes to tie things down, and that's all accommodated with that. Under here, of course, you've got your spare tire jack and extra storage space, so things you're not using on a daily basis, you know, maybe that extra washer fluid bottle, snow scrapers, that sort of thing, you could put away down below. So last but not least, let's go under hood. One thing I like, again, you can always tell the quality of a car by how the doors shut, and it's just a factor of how well everything is sealed, the weight of the doors and the extra bracing. They're not tinny at all. So very, very clean under here. You can see there's really no rust whatsoever. You know, we've cleaned everything up. There is like some what they call a hemming sealer that they use in here, but I always encourage like an oil spraying of a used car going forward. You know, Crown, Z-Bart, WestTrack, all these companies have these lightweight sort of annual sprays you can do that really do help prevent rusting in the long term. So always a good idea. Easy access to oil dipsticks and oil addition, power and brake fluid, air filter just drops in here. So if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you can do a lot of these checks and simple things yourself. Washer fluid here, of course. Air conditioning lines are easily accessible for technicians. Headlights, you can see easy access. So many cars now, gosh, you have to take the bumper off to change a bulb or something. It's crazy. Not really the case with these. Now this is a direct injected engine, so that tick 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 you're hearing this is a very, very high fuel injection pressure direct into the cylinder, as opposed to a straight port injection. But it also uses intermittent port injection to clean the intake valves, because that's one of the problems with direct injection. Many manufacturers are having issues with carbon buildup on the intake valves. They've certainly solved that solution with the SkyActiv technology on this. So it's a 2.5 liter non-turbo 4-cylinder. Of course, it's all-wheel drive, 6-speed overdrive automatic, as mentioned earlier. But power, 186 horsepower, 186 pound-feet of torque. Again, that's lots of power for a normally aspirated or non-turbocharged engine. So that wraps it up, folks. This CX30 all-wheel drive with luxury packages here at CarSmart in Niagara Falls. 905-354-0049 is the number. Thank you.